Hey shifters, it's Fran Holinda.
And it's Lisa A.
And it's time to
Make
shift
shift
happen. The New Year's Eve, pre-New Year's Eve
In
edition.
between Christmas and New Year's.
Somewhere squished in December
we're
27th
smushed-
edition. We don't even
smushed
know
at
what
the
we're
end
doing,
of
I know.
December.
Somewhere between, I'm not taking the Christmas tree down yet.
No.
And I'm leaving
Definitely
it up
not.
forever.
Exactly. One or the other.
Well, happy Merry Christmas.
Merry
Check.
Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
I think
It is Kwanzaa now.
I don't know what it is.
This
And then
week
there
is
was
Kwanzaa.
Boxing Day yesterday, which is
Yes.
which is more of a British holiday. People
Exactly.
laugh about that all the time.
So it was Merry Christmas for me.
It was Merry Christmas for me as well.
Did you have a lovely Christmas?
You know, I bitched and I complained, right?
Mhm.
I did, I have to say.
You
and I
did.
thought I was going to be kind of sad because I was, my family member that I adore was not here. But in the end, I was with the people that I wanted to be with. And it was a
Perfect.
wonderful
Mm-hmm.
day. It
There you
really
go.
was. It was quiet. We've talked about this a lot, and I really mean this in a very upbeat fashion,
Mhm.
that it was really nice to just be with people that you really want to be
Right,
with.
exactly.
And
Not having to make small talk
no,
and conversation.
no,
and-
seriously. Over the years, we've had some fabulous times
Oh, of course.
as we sit around the table that we sit at
Yes.
for the holidays. And I just, but there's been years that, you kind of did the obligatory
Right.
thing, and those weren't always as much fun. And, this year was just us.
And you didn't have to watch your P's and Q's.
Well, you know what it was too, and
Or be polite.
It doesn't matter if I have another couple or if I have 100 people. I cook the same way,
Right, exactly.
and I prep the same way, and I want the house to be perfect. I mean, you're here; the house looks lovely.
It threw up Christmas in here.
But I did
That's
it.
my
But
house.
I
It looks
realized that
awesome.
I really do it for me and for
That's
my
who you
fa-
really do it for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the feeling that you have, and I woke up and I felt very Christmassy, and I didn't think
See
that I
that?
would. No, I
yeah,
agree.
you
no.
crabbed for like weeks.
Well, there was some,
You
there
found
there was a
Christmas.
there was a curveball, which was that my husband actually had to work Christmas Eve, and I did not know that. We had
Right.
dinner plans with friends. We did have dinner plans on Christmas Eve, and
But
I
it ended up
had to cancel them.
just as nice. So
Well, I made linguine white clam sauce.
very good.
And it's very easy to make, so it's for
Yeah.
most people are going, yeah, okay, big deal. But I, fresh
No,
clams
I've had some screwed up linguine clam sauce before.
Yes.
Trust me.
with or without cheese.
Without, especially if you go to Moderado's.
But what's funny about that is that when the recipe that I was looking at speaks to that in certain parts of Italy,
Yeah.
there is no
They will
that
kill you.
They
will
right.
chop your hands off if you put cheese on it.
Don't even you just start with and you're done. It's over.
When I was eating cheese, I had to have cheese on it.
I liked it both ways. I was just, but I felt bad for my husband that he had to work. I think UPS sucks.
There you go.
gonna
You
say.
said it live on the
I
radio.
did say it
Okay.
live on the radio.
UPS sucks.
But like everything else, and we had alternate dinner plans at a restaurant. And please understand when I say this,
Mm-hmm.
okay? This is how I feel. I feel that if you open for Christmas Eve, then
Exactly.
you can't really rush people
Oh,
out.
I hate when they do that. That's so annoying.
Okay, so we were going to go somewhere. I had called and I said, are you open? And I kind of explained my circumstances. I said, I'm not really sure. What is the latest reservation that you would take? And I was told that they had a party of 8 coming in at 7:30. So they would figure they'd probably be there till close to 9:00.
Yeah, they want out because that's
If
the
not
time.
if not
Yeah.
more. So I said, well, so basically she gave us a tentative reservation for 8:30, and then
Okay.
called me Sunday and said can't do it. They're not going to do it.
Really?
They weren't going to do it
Oh wow.
because they would like to have a Christmas Eve as well.
Well, then they shouldn't open at all.
Well, that's what I was trying
Like,
to say.
why
Like,
even open?
I mean, if you're going to open the restaurant, like not everybody can get in at 5 or 6 o'clock.
No.
So it's you're either open and you've chosen that.
Close the damn doors. Just close.
Or stay home and have a Christmas
Right.
Eve, right? Or have one
That's what you
early
want.
seating, I guess. I don't know. So in the end, we wound up staying home. We had a lovely day. And you, tell me about yours. You were all over the place.
I do up north. I do the traditional Christmas Eve, which is my big holiday. Christmas Day to me is, it still is the reason for the season. But as I've grown older, Christmas Day just isn't. It's just it's a major do over, minus the fish. With
Minus the fish.
with the same people and the same conversation.
Yeah.
So I just, I headed back home very, very late. But Christmas Eve to me, we open gifts. We do the 7 fish, and the whole 9 yards. So that's my holiday. The next day, I just stayed in my pajamas all day long.
It's wonderful.
I loved it.
Well, when you have little kids,
I felt bad. I had a little guilty conscience, but
you
I
didn't
got
get to
over
see-
it real quickly.
Well, but you know what? You still have this period of time to see people. If there's people, because you have some people that leave soon, don't they? Go to Florida for the season.
Yes, some people leave like the day after Christmas.
So you kind of catch
yeah.
them while you can. Again, you came up with it. Well, your father, you said, used to say this to you all the time. All you have is all you need. And I really felt very strongly.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I believe in it more and more every day of my life.
No.
I mean, I always have, but now I really believe that.
Well, you make concessions for people when you try to give them the best holiday possible.
Exactly.
And in the end, I think to myself, I would go to sleep, I would be wiped out, exhausted. The stress of just cooking and getting ready and then cleaning up.
Like
and
what is your whole day all about?
It's really not.
Yeah.
You really don't get to
No.
I think I mentioned this on several shows that were addicted to Ozark
Right.
on Netflix, and so we finished it over the holiday.
And it's a must watch.
It's
right?
an absolute must watch, and the best part was the last episode. At the very end, they flash that they're coming back, so there is going to be a season 3.
Excellent.
I mean, technically, they
I
could
have
have
to catch up on that.
Yeah, they could have left it, but they didn't. And it takes a while, but you are just so drawn in and so sucked into it. So that's really what we did. We just really relaxed. I caved.
I know. I'm so glad you got
I
it.
have my Samsung watch on my wrist, which keeps lighting up like a Christmas tree and vibrating. And
Every
half
time
the
you
time,
turn your arm.
I don't even know what it. Oh, is that why it keeps doing? Oh,
It knows your motion, so it thinks you're looking at it, so the light goes on for you.
Well, thank you.
Because
The
people
light
keep
just
telling
went
me,
on.
your watch is going off. I'm like, no, it's not. I just turned my wrist. That's all.
So I talk with my hands. No wonder why this thing is going bonkers.
You're like
makes it-
Christmas
and
tree yourself.
vibrating. I should put it someplace else.
Just put it in your lower
Put it
pocket.
in your pocket.
Yeah.
Is that a watch in your pocket?
Or just
You're just
happy to see it.
vibrating.
Right. Oh, God. Well,
No, but
now,
that was
now
my
we
big
have our
gift.
watches.
This was my big gift, and my husband surprised me. You never know who's listening. You got to be careful what you
I
say
know.
because you never know who's actually listening to you. So apparently, when we were in Oregon,
Still can't get used to that.
I can't say it right anyway. We had in our hotel room, we had a French press to make fresh coffee every morning.
Yeah, I love those.
So there was an electric teapot. You boiled the water, and then they gave instructions, and they left the coffee, and it was amazing. It was so delicious because it was really fresh. You knew that they ground the coffee daily.
Yeah, they're perfect.
And I guess I said, no matter how much the Keurig, no matter which K cups I buy, some
I
are better
know.
than others. It's just never going to be the same as as that fresh. Even percolated coffee is fabulous. Like you just like the whole.
I just had a big conversation with this. People were saying there's nothing like a percolator. And he was a young guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, how come you people don't use these anymore?
Yeah, because it takes time, and we have to have everything the minute. And even like drip coffee is still better. And then somebody once told me that those K cups are really not healthy because when the plastic heats up, and who the hell knows? I mean, nothing is healthy.
That's probably true.
Well,
yeah.
that's another thing. Let me just backtrack to this watch, right? So how like everybody was walking around with their phone in their ear, and everybody's like, "Oh, brain cancer."
Now we're going to get.
I'm thinking to myself,
cancer.
what are they going to say now about your wrist, wearing this battery on your wrist all the time? So
That's true. I didn't think about that.
This has a 90-day return. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see. So far,
mine's too old now.
so far, the only thing that I really have benefited from is finding my phone. I have an app on my watch that helps me find my phone.
What are we becoming?
But it's Bluetooth, which means that I still have to have my phone near me. And I do know what you're saying. Like if my phone is in my bag or I'm out, like okay. But this is. Oh, let's talk about this for a second because this is Verizon. We all have a love-hate relationship with Verizon. So a few years ago,
If I could kill them tonight, I would.
Come on, that's not in the spirit.
I'm sorry.
I hate to say it. Well, so a few years ago, I had the opportunity, wasn't I lucky, to have a tablet for the mere price of like $50.
Oh, I got mine for 10.
I think it was actually free. I think the tablet actually was free.
Yeah.
What I didn't understand was that
what they neglected to tell
I don't
you.
even.
I don't think they told me.
I don't remember understanding it. Was that I was going to pay them like $10 a month for 2 years,
And you have a phone number attached to
for
it.
a phone number that you really can't call the tablet. Well, well, technically, I suppose, but
You can hook up a phone to it now.
right
if you're-
because the tablet was a Wi-Fi tablet. So why the fuck do I need a phone number for a Wi-Fi tablet? Okay, so I argued with Verizon for a year, and I wound up putting it on suspend, which was stupid because all it did was delay it.
Exactly.
And every time I tried to get out of it, it was going to cost me more. So I finally got rid of it. Anyway, so now for fast forward to what to get hubby for Christmas. Well, he needed a new phone. So we went back and forth about Pixel, and he's just, no way. So we go to Verizon, which was surprisingly enough was not crowded. I
Oh,
thought
really?
it was,
Because that's like 9
no,
hours and
I
then your
was
pajamas.
no. You know what? We did a Christmas Eve day. With
Really?
I could have done it online, but I was uncomfortable
I like
because he
going
was
to
going to
see it,
trade
feel
in
it.
his phone, which was worth some money. So I wanted to make sure we handled the
Mm-hmm.
money correctly. So we went in. No problem. We waited like 3 minutes.
Wow.
But in that 3 minutes,
You got lucky.
we happened to see the Samsung watch, which he was looking to get me, and I was like, yes, no.
Right.
Well, they had it there, and guess what? It was $300 and some odd dollars. You could pay it off monthly, plus $10 a month. Oh, what's the $10 a month for? You asked.
You asked questions. Okay.
Exactly the same thing as the tablet. Some fake phone number, so
Oh,
that people could call me, and I would never need my phone. But I'm like, but isn't it attached to my phone? So it's almost like a Google Voice. Like it calls that number, and then that number connects to my phone, and my phone
That's
calls.
a scam. There's no reason to have a smartwatch.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
P.S. The watch I have is a Bluetooth,
Right. That's
and
the
I'm
better
not
one.
paying anybody.
No.
But my poor husband, he would have gotten sucked in
Yeah, he would have bought that.
because he wouldn't have thought to
ask that
really ask that question. But a bad
So
experience.
what phone did he get? I love the Google
He got
Pixel
another
3.
eye. No, he got another eye.
Oh, he's an iPhone dude.
He has been an iPhone.
I didn't know
I am
that.
the only Android in the house.
Stay that
I am
way.
an island unto myself.
Stay
I am
in
a
it.
unique individual.
Stay a droid girl.
I don't know how to eye anything.
Me neither.
I can't even.
I can't stand those phones.
When I look at his phone, or if I search or something on his phone, I can't even get back to the screen before me.
Well, first of all, you could never take Google away from me, even though the law probably
you
should.
you could take the
Yeah.
You could take
That
the
whole
Google away
sub-
from the
yeah.
girl, but you can't take the girl out of Google.
That whole Safari thing or whatever it's called, I don't deal with that very well.
Oh
No.
on your computer.
No, on iPhones and Macs, it's Safari.
What's
We have
that?
Internet Explorer. They have Safari.
Oh, we have Chrome. We have Google
Chrome or Internet Explorer.
Right. Oh
one.
yeah, I have. You can download
Yeah.
Safari for Windows.
I don't like that.
I'm no.
I can't get used to it.
I'm a Bill Gates girl.
Seriously.
all the way.
I'm really a Jeff Bezos girl, but anyway.
You'd like to.
I'd like to be a Jeff
let's
Bezos
let's
girl,
be
yeah.
honest. So you got some good stash then. You're happy with your
Yes,
gifts.
I got some amazing gifts, but you're right. You can't talk because like everything that I received, a lot of it I wanted.
You dropped a hint.
But yeah, well, no, I would just say like in my family, you can't say anything. Like I like this box, like a box, an empty box. The box comes.
I like your family.
You know,
You should introduce me to more members of
Yeah,
your family.
I mean, I like this perfume. Yeah, I do like it, but I don't love it. Got the perfume.
Oh.
It's like,
well, people pay attention.
oh, those UGG slippers I love that people wear out. The
No
open
more
ones.
Uggs.
I know you into Uggs. They came. I mean, I got things that
Aw.
like it's just like you can't say things in front of anybody in my
So
family.
if you said like Mercedes, Bentley,
Well, that happened when I was younger.
Ferrari,
That happens no more. Well, never
Cash
the
from the
Ferrari.
sky.
Never the Ferrari, but so far anyway.
Well, you know what the problem is? I think my husband. Well, I did also get some fun jewelry because
that's always fun.
I think he's given up on the real stuff because
Haven't we
the
all?
last few times he bought me stuff, I took it back. I wouldn't buy me jewelry either. I
Yeah.
I actually like to pick out my own jewelry because I have. Well, first of all, I lose pretty much almost everything. It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's terrible. It's really on. It's
and when
really
you lose
awful.
something expensive, it
Right,
pisses
it
you
hurt.
off.
It hurt. It's upsetting. So I'm better off having, I
Not
mean,
only
I
that,
have
but-
some good pieces, but I don't need a lot of them. And where do I go?
Yeah, and then not only that, but who wears that stuff anymore? It's like old people. It reminds me of old people. I don't know. Sorry, old people, but it reminds me of that. Like when they get dressed up and they put their jewelry on.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Well, I've had a few things, as you know. We had some things taken. So once it's gone, and you
Yep.
realize that you live perfectly fine without it.
You realize you live perfectly
You
fine
really,
without a lot
yeah,
of things.
You
Exactly.
you really decide that you just you really don't need it
No.
anymore.
There's a lot of things we don't need.
So this is that weird week.
It's the awkward week. Yeah.
In between the holidays, we had our stint at Mr. C's.
Yeah, that was awesome.
A week
I
ago,
love that.
and a week ago. Wait, what's today? Today's
Last
Thursday.
Wednesday.
Right. So a week ago, yesterday.
Right.
I don't even know. This is what I'm saying. I really don't even know what day it
well,
is.
it was so weird with Christmas Eve falling on a Monday. Sunday felt like Saturday because I
Yeah.
kept thinking that Christmas was going to be on a Sunday. It was all weird. So I still don't know what day it is either. So join the crowd.
Well, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
I just want you
Is
to
it
know.
Thursday?
It is Thursday.
Are you sure?
Yes, I think so. I don't know.
Google
I'll
it.
just Google it and check and see what day it is.
Seriously.
No, but it does. It throws you for a loop. But we did. We had a nice time. We had
It's
a
going
nice
to start all
crowd.
over again next week.
I know we do.
Oh
it
my
too.
God.
But the difference between next week is everybody when people go back on Wednesday, which is January 2nd, it's a short week, which always felt longer to me.
Right.
It never felt shorter, but it's back to the grind now. And I think this is the time of year where most people get
everybody
depressed.
like ship up or shape out.
Well, they get depressed.
Yeah. I hate, no offense, January, February, and March. Those are like my 3 pet peeves.
Do you have that seasonal affect disorder?
No,
that sad
I
thing,
don't.
Or you
But
just,
I don't know. I don't really get sad. It's just like, I don't know. There's nothing to look forward to in those 3 months. I mean, I know your birthday is in March. I have a lot of people.
Excuse
my
me.
father
I
was
just think
born
that's
in February.
a holiday.
But
Come on.
It's a worldwide holiday.
I think it's something that should be celebrated by all.
Even April. I mean, April just, and then of course the dreaded summer comes for me because I like to be out of the state in the summer. So now I have to wait again for September to come. That's my New Year. I'm sorry. I'm with the Jewish people. September should be New Year's. Everybody goes back to school. Everybody goes back to stop taking off the days to go down the shore or to wherever they go. They don't take their week's vacation. September should be New Year's Eve.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about productivity from a productivity standpoint, I think the only time people actually do business is from January till maybe June. Because once the summer kicks in, nobody does anything, really.
And then it stops again the holiday
And then it
season.
stops again. You kick up maybe like September, October. And then once November hits, people don't do anything until the end of the year. So you only really have, of the 12 months of the year, you only have a few months, I think, that are really like productive for people. And of course, no show would be complete without talking about New Year's and resolutions and why.
Course.
But see, I agree with you. Like people say, we got to start on a Monday. You start something whenever you want to start something. It doesn't matter. A week starts from that day. It goes a week
to
or
the following
whatever,
week,
to the following week or whatever it is. And so
But it just seems like a Monday is a good day to start. Everybody, or the first of the month.
First of the month. I mean, I understand rent
But
starts.
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mortgage payments. Mine has always been the 15th. It's weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't have anything due on the first of the month.
I do.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't.
Our mortgage is actually the 15th of every month. That's just the way it's.
I don't have
I guess just the way it's always worked. But the whole thing about New Year's and the whole thing about resolutions. When I started, our whole show is based on shift and movement.
Yes.
And I've always said I don't believe in making a resolution. I believe in a shift list because I think
I like that.
How do you want to move? How do you want to move? What moves do you want to make?
Right.
What mental,
change,
physical? What is it that you really want to see happen? So to us, that's why we have our what's on your shift list.
That's right.
So this year, as every year, they come up with all. I do love Google because you can find anything about anybody in the entire world that you want. And so you just ask a question. And one of the questions that I asked, and I think these are probably the same every
Typical.
year.
Yeah.
Though maybe the percentages change. The most common New Year's resolutions. So what do you think?
Eating, weight loss, probably. Working out.
Good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so eating healthier, get more exercise, and save more money are tied.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They're tied.
Yes.
Wow.
So however many this focus group people did 37% for eat healthier, get more exercise, and save more money.
It's just like, why do you have to wait? I mean, I know everybody pigged out over the holidays, but like, why can't you just eat healthy all year long? Why do you have to wait?
Well, see, this is the thing.
It's like so stupid.
See, again, I think a lot of people feel that if you make a resolution and you don't stick to it, you've set yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
Right? And then also if you say, okay, well, I'm going to quit smoking, eat better, blah, 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 like a list of 10 things.
Come on.
Nobody does.
How much can you achieve?
Right. Well, how much deprivation can you
Really?
possibly have, and how much change all at once can you do? I believe in baby steps. Next, this was interesting. More sleep. Well, this was actually focus on more self-care, including getting more sleep. I can see that.
Well,
I think people don't take enough time.
I hate to sleep. That, so that wouldn't be on my list.
Well, what's your self-care? What would be self-care for you? Like walks on the beach or something?
Yeah, walking more, exercising more.
Well, that's exercise.
Yeah. Self-care. Yeah, I guess just walking, but that's exercise.
Read more?
I don't read.
So then you need to read more.
No, I don't want to read. Reading gives me reading is not fundamental. Reading gives me a headache.
How about make new friends?
I have enough friends.
Everybody knew you were going to say that.
All I have is all I need.
Well, I've decided because of lessons learned. Here is my. It's not even a resolution. It is a true shift in my thought process. And you lived through this year with me in its entirety. I really feel like this year was a lesson to be learned, and I've learned
Yeah,
some.
we've both learned some
And
lessons.
it's not that I don't want to make friends, and it's not that I think friends are fabulous, and I think they're important, and I think the right ones in your life can change it.
And it's all about quality and not quantity.
Exactly.
It really,
It
truly
is.
is.
No, it is. It really is.
I'd rather have one good friend than 10 friends. Like, that's really going to ride or die. with
Well, I've
me.
learned my lesson. I've also feel like when he talks about making friends, do me a favor. Don't say, "Oh, let's get together." When I know you don't meet.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't. I'm the
People
kind-
do that during
but you
Christmas
don't
time.
have to. But you don't have to say anything. Say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or how about this one? I bumped into somebody not too long ago that I hadn't seen in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I hadn't seen them in a while because after trying dozens of
Numerous times to get a hold of them,
to make
yeah.
plans that always fell through. And now we're no longer in the same workspace. So you say to yourself, well, I guess this is, I'm not angry. You just say, what the heck? So, as it turns out, I bump into this person and it was really nice to see them. And we had, quick chat, catch up. And as I was exiting, I just said, hey, take care. Whatever. I didn't even say, let's get together because I know it's never going to happen.
Right, exactly.
And I
People
don't-
say that. Oh, we have to get together for lunch. We have to. I can't tell you how many people in the past 4 weeks of this holiday season have said, "Oh my God, please, we have to get together." And, it's kind of sad because I've lost a couple people as you've been in my life now. That I kept saying, "We have to do this, we have to do that," and we didn't. So if I say it now, I really truly mean it.
Yes.
I really do because, what's first of all, what's the point of saying it if you're not going to follow through? And two, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So if you say to somebody, "Let's get together," you really have to mean it. You really want.
Well, that's
to
what I'm
want to do
saying.
it.
I would rather, this is in all aspects of my life, if I can say this, whether it be business, even our show.
Exactly.
If you like the show and you want to tell me you like the show, I'm happy to hear it. But I don't want to hear anything. If you don't like it,
The
don't say anything.
excuses,
Or
right.
I didn't listen because, I have no internet in my entire life in any place that I ever go
Exactly.
to. There's no Wi-Fi.
Which is impossible.
Right. I can't listen to it because I don't have 5 minutes out of my entire month. Like I just
say,
you
I don't want to listen to it.
You don't listen to it.
I
It's
don't
not
listen to
my,
podcasts. I don't listen to radio
right.
shows.
It's not my cup of tea.
Right.
What you guys do. I want something.
I have
that's,
more respect for people who say that.
This
I
is,
really do.
This is people have keywords. I think that they pick for each year or each part of their life. No, and I mean that
Probably,
like a focus word, like something that you really want to make sure that you and I can't say that I have never been, but this year, authentic. Authenticity is my key word for 2019. And I honestly, and you'll watch me because you'll be through the year with me.
Right.
Anybody who isn't is out. I don't because I've been hurt so many times and disappointed so many times. We've had business people who are not, who've really,
We have truly been let down this year.
Yeah.
Big time.
by
It's-
people who
it's
say
very
that they're going to do
disheartening.
things. Yeah. And we're not going to. So I think you can't protect yourself completely. And I'm not being, and I really hope our listeners don't think, and I'm really not being cynical. I'm
No,
just
it's not
really
cynical at all.
It's actually quite enlightening. And so for the things that have been lost this year for me, I feel like I've gained an enormous amount of insight.
Absolutely.
And
you
a real purpose and a real feeling of, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Right.
Or keep your fucking mouth shut.
just
And
shut
I
up.
mean that
Just shut
from the
up.
bottom. And you know what? I will reach out. I will extend a hand to just about
Exactly.
anyone, but I will never chase.
No
and
way.
if you don't react back, okay.
That's it.
I'm not letting my feelings get hurt. I'm not investing.
Nope. If you don't answer my voicemail, oh well, you're lost because you don't know why I'm calling you.
Exactly.
If I send you an email and you don't answer, oh well. You
Oh,
know?
look at my watch is buzzing.
Oh, there you go.
I
See?
have no idea what's happening. My watch is
It's not gonna self-destruct,
No,
is
it's
it?
not. I have no idea what's happening here. No, but it's really true. And I think that these are things, I think for people to be really, really honest, if you want to make these big changes, okay? Because like one of the other things on here was, which I think is interesting, learn a new skill. I like that.
That I wouldn't mind doing.
Okay.
Because I don't have any. So I would like to learn one.
You have skills. I don't know if they're marketable.
In some circles they can
in some
be.
states they might be, but not in the New Jersey. Get a new job. Absolutely.
Yes.
Take up a new hobby.
I don't know. What are your hobbies?
Well,
I don't know if I have any hobbies.
I don't know, like there's like things that I like to do, or I don't know if they're really like hobbies. Like
I don't like garden. I don't bowl. I don't, like these people have like I'm going bowling.
I'm not
like,
really crafty. Like
Me
I'm not
neither.
really like a craft person. There's a couple things I'd like to do. Like I have some tables that we had gotten as part of a furniture package that we bought, and then so they weren't like they're not in bad shape, but they were never like perfect. And I've been watching all these HGTV shows.
Okay.
I would love to learn how to like distress them, like more so than they already are. Like, how do you mess up if they come out bad? They're good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
the more
exactly.
the uglier they
the
are.
more shabby chic and destroyed they
So
look,
I
the
would like
better
that.
off.
That might be, I guess, considered like a little hobby. Like for
Yeah.
right now, I guess you could say my project or my hobby is really Facebook Marketplace and Let
I was
Go
gonna say decluttering.
and Poshmark to
What's
try
what's
to
your
sell
what's your
stuff.
hobby? Decluttering.
Decluttering,
That's
yes.
all,
I'm
yeah.
becoming an organization.
The
sell
more
on-
you talk about it, I have
like an
to get a
eBay
hobby.
expert or something.
I don't know if I have time for a hobby though. I don't know. I get
What
bo-
do
I,
you
I
do?
get bored with that.
What do you do?
You can't tell you on the air.
I don't see
Then I have to kill you.
hence the new job skill.
This is true.
Well, as far as a new skill goes, I think. Oh, and then the last of the resolution thing was that 32% of people who were part of this survey, which now if you add this all up, I don't even think it adds up to be 100. I think it's way over 100. But I guess 32% of people who are polled don't plan on making any New Year's resolutions, and I'm with them.
Yeah, that sounds kind of right.
All right, so we're just going to throw that paper away. I think the thing what I was starting to say before was instead of focusing on like losing weight or you should try to be healthy, period.
Right.
Okay. I think
for whatever the reason.
and however you get around that. Now this year for you've gone through some dietary changes.
In my eating disorders.
Not disorders. You try. I think you've tried different things for different reasons.
Yeah,
and
well,
now you're kind of
I
back
wanted to
on.
see how I felt, and
Didn't make a damn bit of difference.
no,
I'm
actually,
like,
my cholesterol went up being a vegan, which is like the most ludicrous thing I've heard in the world.
understand that.
Yeah, and now I don't drink coffee anymore. I haven't for years, four years now, and I've been getting the urge for coffee, so I've been getting decaf
Okay.
every day, and I've been using milk substitutes, good ones though.
Yeah, like almond milk or
yeah.
creamers,
But,
almond,
the
but
cream,
non-dairy.
the good ones. And now somebody had to go and tell me, and I looked it up, that decaffeinated coffee raises your cholesterol.
Yeah, you said something about a chemical, right? There's a chemical they take out
Something
of the
that
coffee.
they take out of the coffee. Okay, regular coffee causes high blood pressure. Decaffeinated coffee causes high cholesterol.
I'll take the high blood pressure. I need my caffeine.
Oh,
on a
please! I
regular
can't be
basis.
I can't.
Well, you
be a high
can't.
blood
Yeah,
pressure.
I know.
I told you I did a half and half one day, and I was like, the lip was going, the eyes were twirling. It was bad. It was really bad.
At least on
And
crack.
I said, that's it. Not another cup of coffee.
I have a pretty high tolerance for caffeine. You've seen me have espresso
Yeah.
at night, and
Yeah,
then I've
you're-
come home and
yeah,
I mean I not like I know when I've had too much. Actually, what happens if I think I've had too much is I actually get lightheaded.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that's what
because
happened.
it dehydrates you too.
Oh,
Coffee can dehydrate you. Actually,
Yeah, that's what they say. But I mean, 1 cup. I'm anxious to see if this is going to raise my
I don't understand.
cholesterol.
Well, you just started having it, so
It's been about a month now. I've been doing it.
but your cholesterol numbers were up before you started.
Yeah, they
drinking.
were freaking
So-
high anyway. So,
so-
now they're going to go blow through the roof.
So was this holiday a little bit more enjoyable for you in the sense that you could participate in more food than last year?
Definitely.
And I'm
yes.
sure your host was very happy because it's a real hassle to
Yeah,
have
they're-
to cook for
yeah,
people who
yeah.
have dietary issues.
Well, on Christmas Eve, it was pretty easy for me. Well, not being a vegan, it wasn't. Well, I still like the pasta, so it was.
yeah, but
last
you didn't
year.
have any of the fish last year. Did you have fish this
No.
year?
Yes.
Some of it, not the shellfish though, right? Because that's cholesterol. Shellfish is cholesterol.
Well,
problem.
I don't avoid it because of that. I just don't like
The bottom
clams
feeders.
and stuffed galamad and all that. Clams oreganada. I don't eat all that stuff.
I don't like it. I like things in their more pure.
Bacala.
See, I don't like that.
I don't like
I like things in their more pure. Like the linguine white clam was
Yeah.
enough.
I'll eat the chopped clams. I can't
they
eat the
were-
whole clams.
I don't. And even when we go out to eat, I ask them if
Yeah.
they can take it out of the shells.
Like when I
for me
bring
or
that big
something.
dish and there's just giant shells all over, I'm like, oh no.
No, they look like big snot balls.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
Ugh,
I mean, it
gross.
tastes good when it's cooked, and I'm good with it. I used to love all that, like that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
taste change. Well, I was thinking about you actually because and what about Christmas Day? Like, well, you were home, so you brought home leftovers with you.
I got care package, of course.
I bet you
but the
did.
the food wasn't really cooked, but I got some care package. But then I ended up just making myself some pasta, I had some turkey meatballs, I just chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a nice Bunnell round Italian bread.
It's I think again. I think we all have to find.
I had all my dairy-free desserts. I had dairy-free apple pie. I had
nice
dairy-free chocolate cupcakes. They were very good.
I'm in love with. I've been making all kinds of stuff with dairy free.
Awesome.
I have to say, if there's been a change for me, because I don't have an issue with gluten. I have an issue more with processed stuff, so I try to stay away from certain things. But I will tell you, when I minimize my dairy, I never really thought about what you're not pouring in your coffee, or like I'm not eating the cheese anymore, which I really miss.
Guess what? I ate goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
I had
is
a
fabulous.
goat cheese pizza last week.
Yeah, that's fabulous. But I mean, when you're sitting around, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't go with goat cheese, or even feta. You really can't get away with all of it all the time. I miss a nice piece of cheddar and all that stuff, but I don't feel well. Every once in a while, I'll go in on it, and I'm like, okay, just be prepared. Even if I take one of those little pills, it doesn't seem to work. But what I forgot about were the certain foods that you would eat, were the ingredients.
Yeah,
or
you
dairy.
have to look at those.
There's a lot of, and you know what? There's a lot of cocktails that I can't drink.
Oh yeah.
Or I'm afraid to because it's so much heavy.
You really have to read big time.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why? Why did they put all this
and
crap
why
in
don't
there?
I feel good? And then you start to really feel for people who genuinely have life-threatening allergies. You can't make fun of it.
No.
They really have to read every label.
And then somebody has to go blow my whole world up today because
I'm
I'm
so
dairy
sorry.
free, and I took the jump into spreading some goat cheese on some flaxseed crackers the other day, and then I had a pizza with goat cheese on it. And everybody's like, that's still dairy, and I'm like,
I think there's a lot of.
So somebody Googled, on their Google Home or their Alexa or something, isn't goat cheese considered dairy? And it's like, yes, it is. Goat's milk, sheep's milk, this. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just the cow thing. Then I don't like it.
It might be a cow's milk issue. I have no issue with goat cheese, and I haven't. And I've had sheep's cheese made from sheep's milk, and it's fabulous. That didn't bother me either. And actually, a buffalo mozzarella doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's not,
again,
that's from the buffalo.
But I realize they're all
a lot
mammals.
of people just think that that's a name.
No, it's really.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I mean, but I know that they're mammals. I realize that, but for some reason, it just doesn't have. Maybe it's that weird protein thing that one company's taking out of it.
When they were doing this Google Home thing with the goat cheese, it has 10 times more calcium, 10 times less sugar, more B and C vitamins than
it's creamy.
Cow's cheese.
It just tastes good.
Any kind of cow's cheese. Well, you would have been in cheese heaven yesterday when I was in Philadelphia. I took a little trip to see some friends in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, and there was that cheese shop. Did you see some
I
pictures?
saw your pictures. You look like you had a good time.
I got to tell you, when that door opens, though, you're just like mud on. Holy
Your eyes
cow.
start to tear.
I was like,
my grandpa,
wow.
my papa, my nana's husband. He wasn't my grandfather by blood.
Right.
He used to Lemberger. I think isn't that the
That's
stinkiest cheese on the
well,
planet?
next to a
Makes
really
me
sharp
think of it.
provolone.
Oh yeah, but provolone I loved love it.
That's-
Absolutely love it. But those kinds of cheeses, some people have, my daughter, people who suffer from migraines, the hard cheeses or the because they get they're almost like a fungus or whatever those are
because it's so aged.
Yeah, that's bad for bad for a lot. There's a lot of bad things for people. It's so
Really?
But all in all, though, you got to eat more this year, which is a good thing.
Yes, I did. That I did. I didn't drink though.
No, I know you're not. That's okay. I did enough for both of us.
That's okay.
But you know what? Even that lately, I just don't seem to. I don't mind having a few cocktails here and there, especially when you're home.
Right.
I need to stay away as much as I really love my red wine. I just have to limit myself.
It's so funny when I say it because people were like, they think I had a problem. Well, I mean, I did, but that's not why I stopped drinking. But I did have a problem on alcohol, but not that kind of problem. But people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" No, I started eating clean, and I gave up.
What time is your meeting?
Yes. What time? Do you have a chip yet?
Which is not a bad thing, by the way. And I think
meetings are good for everybody.
No, I think that we put a lot of emphasis. Listen, it's really, really hard for people who are trying to do certain things for themselves, and we understand that. The world the thing about food and drink is that it's very, very social. Think about
It
all
is.
of the activities that
Everything
revolve
involves
around
food and drink.
food. People don't just come over to sit around and talk to each other. They come over to eat, to drink. You go out to dinner. You have a couple of
Well, just
cocktails.
being at a holiday with everybody drinking
But
the other
even
night.
just forget a holiday.
Yeah.
Though. Eating and drinking is very social. It's very
Extremely
difficult for
social.
people who are trying to, have goals for themselves.
Yeah, 'cause
And so-
people call me boring. Like, you're boring. You're so boring now. You used to be so much fun. I'm like, no.
Well, is dancing on the
what
bar
kind of fun are you
considered
talking
fun?
about? Listen, I made some very bad decisions on alcohol, so
I don't
I've
need
been a very
alcohol.
good girl.
I don't need alcohol
No,
to make bad decisions. I can do that all by myself.
I don't either, but I made some very bad decisions, so it's probably best.
It's probably bad. Well, you know what? If and when the time comes, then you will. And that's the other thing.
And
too.
I probably will.
And do you notice that
People say, "Are you going to be like this forever?" I'm like, I never
but
say
why
ever.
Why do we? Again, no one has the right to put that kind of
I know.
pressure
It's
on
like, are you
other
gonna,
people.
Are you
Why
going
do
to drink
yeah.
like a fish all day for the rest of your life? Like, how if you asked you that question? It's like, why are you asking me that? First of all, I never say never to anything. Just like when I was vegan,
I also heard that.
people are like, "Are you going to keep doing this?" I go, "No, I don't know. I might stick a meatball in my mouth next week. I don't know." And
I'm ending it all with this ribeye
Right,
steak.
seriously.
Watch me.
That's one thing I haven't done though. I haven't eaten any beef, anything from the cow. I haven't done that, or pork.
We went to dinner last.
Well, that cheeseburger you had last week looked
that was
awesome.
fabulous at Mr. C's. But Randy and I went to dinner over the weekend, and they had a special 40 ounce for two.
Holy cow!
That sounds like a lot.
No
but
pun
I think
intended.
Yeah, no, that's what I wrote. Holy cow! This thing was first of all, it was cooked perfectly,
Really?
and it was fabulous. Every
Where
once
was
in
this?
Grand Tavern,
Oh, Grand
Neptune.
Tavern, that's
One of my faves. We had been there a while back. Actually, we were supposed to try to do video with them at one point in time when we were kind of working on stuff
Maybe
like
that's
that.
where when I saw it, that was
yeah.
kind of
And I
in my
mean,
mind.
just we've evolved into rolling podcasts. We're the roving podcast.
Yes.
girls.
By the way, you can catch us at a restaurant near you.
Yeah, we're going to come out.
Yes.
We're going to do
Or bar or club.
Mr. C's last week was a little bit of a test to see if we
And
could
we
do
liked
it, and
it.
we can do it.
We were hits.
We were hits actually.
yeah,
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Special thanks to Baby Maurice.
Baby Maurice, yes, that was
he did a good Santa.
was
He
awesome.
did magic. He did Santa. He gave us some bluesy Christmas. So it was a good time. But that's also part of learning a new skill for us. Like we've learned some things that we need to do. So
Traveling
I think we gained something.
podcasters.
The traveling podcasters. So this
Now all I need is that Winnebago, that pimped out Winnebago, and
my
we'll be set,
I'm
man.
on the road. Listen, I'm telling you, that's the other thing about 2019 too. In addition to being truly like I said about being authentic and people. Let's go back to that. I think people need to start concentrating on the things that make them happy.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that doesn't mean that if you
And
want.
saying no. I got to learn to say no more. That's that's not.
I'm in your ears saying
That's
that.
not a New Year's resolution, but I have to say no more, and doing things that I don't want to do just because I feel bad or guilty. I'm not going to do it anymore. Well, I started with Christmas Day. That was a good start.
Well, again, there's a fine line. Like one of the things that Randy and I, as a couple,
Right.
we've always been that couple that people would say, "Oh, they're so nice." We always compromise, and we do, and that's. I mean, we're like that anyway. We try to, but there comes a point in time where we were constantly getting like the short end of the stick in terms of
exactly.
compromising to the point where you say to yourself, "You know what? Maybe we're better off just." It's just us, and then and it's not that you don't want to see or be with others, but it just gets more and more difficult to please everybody, and then it's it's that 99 things you do right, and then that one thing that doesn't go well.
It just seems like there's always a hassle.
Everybody's getting very difficult. I feel like to deal with, and I don't know if it's because we want to. In one sense, I want to get out of the house and be with the people, and then the other side is. You start dealing with people on a regular basis. You're like, I'm hiding.
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Exactly. Well, I had that feeling yesterday. I really did not want to go, and they kept calling about Philadelphia. And
I know.
Like,
I talked to you in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? You're like,
Nothing.
I'm errands.
Nothing.
And then the next thing
And
I know,
then-
I see pictures of Philly, and I'm
Yeah.
like, how did that happen?
I was like, jumped at the car, got on I-95.
You met them halfway, like?
No, I mean, I just drove into Philly.
But see, that's probably, and you probably had the best time
Because it was more spontaneous.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And
Which
it wasn't this whole big planned out thing, and it was. I had a good time, so I was glad I went in the end. I was glad.
Well, I think New Year, clean slate. The one thing that drives me crazy is that every advertising campaign, right from fitness to buying a new car to
Yes.
cleaning your toilet bowl, something has somehow turns because of the new year.
Right.
Don't you want a clean toilet for the new year?
Yes, exactly what I want to do.
But I mean, think about it. And it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's after a while, it gets to be old. Like my Facebook feed, and yours as well, I'm sure, will be filled with every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Absolutely.
About supplements and shakes and every workout program in the
already
world.
this
And every
morning on the
gym
TV.
membership under the sun is now, every gym is going to do something and everybody's going to have specials and start the new year with a new you. I don't want to be a new me.
All the morning shows where how to get rid of the belly bloat from all the holiday eating and drinking, and don't eat your vegetables. Try to cook them more because depending on your body type, like if you're going to have a kale salad, put it in the soup, the kale, instead of having it because it digests better. Like all these crazy things that like every week it's something different.
Well, the idea is that everybody wants to be. Here's what we should strive for, in my opinion: the best version of yourself. Right? What makes you feel good about yourself? Because when you do feel good about yourself, you do project out, right? Don't you
to other people,
to
sure.
other people? But I think we also have to draw a line about saying no, about again being authentic. What makes you happy? Most people put themselves in situations on a regular basis. Somebody invites them somewhere or says something, and we say yes. And then we go back and we say, I don't want to go.
I'm in that situation for tomorrow morning, by the way.
Well, then just don't go. But I honestly feel like you and I have a very special relationship because we really can be very honest with each
Absolutely.
other. But but from just people in general, if you say to somebody, do you want to go somewhere? Wouldn't you rather hear them say, I really just don't want to do it?
So much.
Than to say yes because they think that's what you want to hear. And that's the other thing. I'm sick and tired of people telling me things that I guess they think I want to hear.
Yeah, and that's so annoying. Please don't do that to me.
No, I don't.
That's why when we talk and we're honest with each other. You want to do it? Nah, I don't want to do it.
No,
I don't want to go.
Because
And I'm like, okay, let's not go.
Why make ourselves miserable?
And like, why would you want to go with me somewhere knowing that I'm hating being there?
Exactly.
I mean, whether it's a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, anybody, why would you like want to drag me someplace that that I really didn't want to go anyway? But I'm just doing it to be nice.
Right.
Don't do it. Just say no.
Well, then people also need to be prepared. If you ask someone a question, you have to be prepared for the answer, and it may not be the answer that you like, but you can't get mad then.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing.
You don't have to be nasty about it. Just like I really would prefer not to go. I mean, for instance, like I had an invitation today. It was cousins, but not my first cousins.
Okay,
like my mother's cousins. They have this big luncheon that they went to, and I guess because I'm the oldest, let's say, niece girl in the family to go, so they always gravitate to me. Is Lisa coming? Is Lisa coming? Is Lisa coming?
Well, because you're a chick. Come on, chick.
So,
you're the life of the party.
So my aunt called. Are you coming with us tomorrow? My mother's cousin Barbara texts me. Would love to see you tomorrow. Are you coming? Yeah, I was feeling really bad because like they all kept calling me.
That's
and
very
I was like,
sweet.
And I just was like, no.
Good.
It was at 12:00, and then they went to my cousin's house afterward, and I said, no, I have to be somewhere tonight, by 6:00, and I'm afraid I might make it back down. And I just didn't want to go.
Well, again, it's nice to be wanted. It's nice to be included, but that doesn't mean I don't think that I think guilt is it's a very powerful emotion. But I don't think
between being Catholic and Italian, it's really bad. Jewish and
Italian. Jewish, Italian.
You got it. Yeah, Catholic. You got it double.
It really gets it. No, but I think it's a motivator for a lot of people. But I never want to guilt somebody into doing something.
Yeah, no.
Well, I shouldn't say never. Never say never.
Exactly.
Randy.
No, right. Seriously.
Well, one of my guilty pleasures, if you want to talk about guilty pleasures, right, is, and I talked about this for weeks now, is Netflix.
Yeah, you are totally hooked on this.
And totally hooked with Netflix. But, what's interesting is, because now we have this time of year. This is the time I think people start to, what's the word that bears do? Hibernate?
Yes. Stay home in your
It's easy to get to be a couch potato. And
totally.
Netflix has opened up just a whole new world. And, the thing is that, like, okay, Randy gets home, 1 something in the morning, whatever. So my new, this isn't a Netflix. This is Bravo. This Dirty John that everybody's talking about, right? So we finished the Kaminsky project. We talked about that. We talked project method, something like that. We finished Ozark. We started watching this thing called Maniac, which is.
But you also finished watching.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's like, when you're done, it's like you can't stop. It's
like
really
a drug.
addiction.
Yeah.
But then you're done and you're like, you're left. You're like spent. It's like Now what do I
Orange
do?
is the New Black, because all that hype I heard about it, and then like I watched it like so long after everybody else did, and now it's never come back yet. It keeps threatening to come back, but it's not.
That's
coming
what
back.
happened, I think, with Game of Thrones on regular television.
I'm so
Like
pissed off
HBO,
now.
like for years and years. But the thing is like, so I was thinking about this. Which is actually better? Is it really like the one thing we like about Netflix, right? Is or these videos
at your convenience.
You can at your convenience. You watch it when you want. You watch 20 episodes in a row until like your eyes
Well,
are
you know
like,
when it's just like next,
and then but then
next
it's
one.
over. And then what?
Yeah, then you're go through withdrawal.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to find another show.
At least with network television, like you kind of know you have to wait to find.
And they give you the date it's coming back. You know,
That's the other thing. All of our shows are on.
I know.
I don't even. You know what? There's only.
I only have a couple though.
Yeah.
Million Little Things.
That's it. And This Is Us. I think those are the only two.
This Is
I mean,
Us.
we'll watch Empire because
watch
we do.
Empire
And you
because,
like what's the one with the doctor that you like? Good Doctor.
Good Doctor. I do. I do enjoy watching that. But like if I miss it, I'm not. You know, that's the show. I'm not gonna. I mean, A Million Little Things. I truly love.
Yeah,
I really do.
I know you do.
Yeah,
I do too. I enjoy that. So I don't know. I think so. So this Dirty John. So we were talking about this a little bit. It's based on, and I have never listened to a true crime podcast before, but I'm very curious to see how they work. They're very popular, and it started off as because this is all based on a true story
Oh, okay.
of a very successful woman who basically is conned into a relationship with a guy. He's a con man, and he's not a good guy at all. He's
So Dirty John.
Dirty
really
John
means
is
Dirty John.
well
Okay.
because he's like a dirty dog, and his nickname
Right.
is Dirty John. And so I'm I think 4 episodes in on demand. It's on Bravo.
Okay.
It's on Sunday nights. So there's still new episodes coming. They're calling it a limited series because there's a
They're
limit.
saying that a lot lately. On
Well,
TV.
because there's an end to the because the show her story ends. It's based on a true story. So
Right.
there's a middle. You know, he's once he's out of her life or whatever happens to him. I don't even really know. It's over. There's no more
Right.
story.
What else
As
you can
opposed
tell?
to
If it's
like
true,
a
you
like
can't
a
keep
like
going
a
on.
yeah like as opposed to like a TV series that can
Right.
go on forever and
They
ever and
can keep
ever. They
writing
keep
and
creating
writing.
characters
Right.
stuff like that. But here's the essence of the show for me. Maybe I'm in this weird mood. I don't know about new and old.
Mm-hmm.
And here's this woman. She's like so ridiculously successful.
What does she do?
She is an interior designer.
Okay.
I mean, she's got her own business. Like she's been married like 4 times before this guy, right? And she's of the age where she's I think in her 50s or
She should
just
know
around
better?
50. Well, not that she should know better. She's obviously looking to be with somebody that we all want that person in our lives, right? The good guy. She wants a good guy, an all around good guy. And this guy who's a con man obviously acts like he is a good guy, but I think what bothers me about it is that we're so fucking needy. Everybody's so needy. Everybody's looking like we're like so broken. Nobody else
problem.
is going to fix you.
No,
like
no.
here's this wonderfully successful woman who gets so conned because he said like we want to hear it so bad.
Well,
we need to hear
It's
those
a
words
combination
so bad.
of needy and desperate. It's like so many people I know too. Like they have to, if they're not married, they have to have somebody. Like every waking minute of the day. And it's just like,
Get a dog.
yeah, like enjoy yourself, enjoy life, go do something. It's like, you don't always have to have a man on your arm. Like I know
Or a
some,
woman. Either way. Like a
right.
a
Like
partner.
I know some girls will just take like the bottom of the barrel just to say they're with somebody. And I'm like, do you have any like self pride or worth? It's like
I don't know what it is. I mean, listen. I mean, I've been married a long time, so it's hard for me to see life without a significant other in it, kind of
it's
thing.
different, yeah.
But I do think that but we don't do everything together. We don't spend every waking moment together. We have our own
don't need
identities.
to.
I've always
Right.
been like that. I've always had interests or
Yeah, you're
get
way
involved
too
with other
independent.
things. But I think it just bothers me as a whole. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to fix people. That's the kind of stuff that I would like people to get the message that like you said, be more about yourself. It's not even about pride. I don't even know if it's about pride. It's like a validation,
Right.
in some way, shape, or form. But we do that. We do that as people in general, right? If it's not a relationship romantically, then it's friends that we need and family. Not everybody's for you. I've been. You and I have talked about this because I tend to call myself more spiritual than I guess what you'd say religious.
Right.
But I do believe in a higher power. I really do. And every Sunday I park my tush right in front of the television, 11:30. Joel Osteen, and I know a lot of people have thoughts about him as a pastor and his money and. But
He speaks. I like the way he speaks, regardless.
he's very he's really very motivational.
He's more like a motivational speaker.
But he brings he brings Bible stories into it. So there is the religious piece of it. But I never feel like religion is being like shoved down my throat. I really don't. And every week I come away feeling like he's speaking to me in some way, shape, or form.
Personally.
But it's about just being a better person.
That's all it is.
Just
That's truly all it is.
And if you really are, I feel like there is a light that shines, and you don't necessarily. And one of the things, and he's honest in the things that he says, and he'll say things like, "Not everyone is for you. People are not always rooting for you. Even the people that you think are rooting for you."
And in the case of this past year, I don't think anybody's been rooting for anybody. This was a very tough year.
It really was.
I'm happy to see 2018 go.
Do you think politics played a big
role?
They really
it was the
did.
Me Too movement. It was all these marches. The shootings, the black, the white, the Chinese, the Mexican, the immigrants,
the wall, the not wall. Now we're in a shutdown.
I know.
You and I are sitting here. We're talking. We're not even thinking about it, to be honest with you, because so far, the services that I require, it hasn't impacted. But there are thousands of people who are not getting paid.
Yep,
and that's a problem.
Well, I don't like to get into politics, but they need to step up and do what. I mean, he ran on the wall, and that's what the American people wanted. That was one of the biggest issues in this campaign, and he wants to live up to his promise. First of all, we could do a 9-hour radio show on, a podcast on immigration.
Yes, this is true.
The bottom line is that you or I right now could not get in a car, on a plane, and leave this country and go somewhere else without our proper credentials or a visa or a passport. And you can't even go anywhere with a birth certificate anymore. You used to be able to go to the islands.
You have to have. I don't even think you can cross Canada without a picture, right?
You need a passport for Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. So, why? What are we asking so wrong to do?
I think we've established ourselves as a place of refuge and freedom. And I think what bothers me more than anything is not so much it's the perks that you get just for being here.
Right. Meantime, we have people sleeping on the streets
when you've put nothing into it. I think there needs to be some control. Whether it's border control, but once you're here, let's say you're here. If you're productive and contributing to society, I have no issue. I really don't. Get your fair share of the American dream. But it's the people, and some of them are, and many of them are already citizens of the United States. So it's not even about that. But I just don't think that we should people who just come here automatically get the same rights and freedoms that the people who have established themselves here, whether they're born here or obtain citizenship. But if you're not a citizen, why are you getting the benefits if you're not a citizen?
And you don't even speak English. They don't have to. It's not required anymore.
Oh, my God. What did I call? I was on hold for, was it Cablevision the other day? And it was the thing that I thought about you immediately because it was press 1.
Kiss my ass.
For English. You had to opt in.
I have to go press 1. I live in the United States of friggin' America, and I have to press 1. No, you friggin' press 1 if you want to hear it in Spanish.
I was thinking about you. I was it's not really.
Where's the Italian button? Where's the German button? Where's all the other buttons?
Well, I know there was something that was a little bit in your craw that's been on the news that you wanted to mention tonight about that young man, young wrestler.
I feel so bad that I don't even know his name because every time I see the video, all I just want to do is just punch somebody. The wrestler, everybody I'm sure has heard the story by now.
All over the place.
That they just took this giant scissor and first of all, cutting your hair is traumatic to begin with. He's standing there in front of all his classmates, the other team, all their friends and family.
Yep.
And they're just chopping away at his hair as he stands there.
Well, I will say this.
And this girl was having fun doing it.
Well, she was one of the trainers, and his family has put out a couple of statements because I was reading up on it a little bit today to see where we stand with it. The school will not participate in any sport where this referee is. He's been asked not to be assigned. Okay, he's been benched. The family does not blame the coaches or the trainer. They're really holding. The bottom line is this issue of his hair should and his head and his proper headgear, which is what they're saying, it should have been addressed prior to the match
before you start the
absolutely.
Sport.
And so once so really, even though his parents are being kind, okay, the coaches should know these things ahead of time. And I'm sorry. And the players should know these things ahead of time. I'm not saying the referee was right. It was not. And I don't understand that. Apparently, I had read something else too, where they were going to win, whether he won his match or not. They still were going to basically win the tournament. He didn't have to do it, and I don't think anybody would have. I don't think anybody would
His tear
have
in his eye. It was so sad.
criticized him. His hair will grow back. Okay, it's not like they cut his arm off. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think it was bad timing, and it was done very, very poorly. And if
if that happened to a female, and I'm going to stick up for men right now. Okay.
Oh, me too.
All right. I am, because if that would happen to a female, this country would be in an uproar right now with the Me Too movement. They made her cut her ponytail off and blah, blah, blah. You know that would have happened. I hope he sues the friggin' shit out of them and he buys dreadlocks down his ass for the rest of his life.
And go, well, look at how they play in the NFL. There's shit hanging all out of their helmets, like all over the place.
They got like girls' hair hanging.
You know
out.
what? But this is high school sports, and there are rules, and there's also it's not to their advantage to have hair hanging because nobody, you can't do that. You got to.
Well, just like I get so nervous watching the NFL when I see
they step on their head.
You could pull your scalp off.
Well, you don't need to. You know what? I think to myself, they worry about like face mask, which is obviously very dangerous. But even by accident, think about like, do you ever get your hair? You get your hair caught in the door of the car sometimes, right?
It kills.
Imagine if just somehow some of that hair got
grab you by the hair by accident.
No, but not even if they grab your hair. If it gets like stuck somehow, like wrapped around somebody's helmet in a tackle or something like that, you could really get hurt. But I know you wanted to mention that, and I just
feel really bad for him, and I think it was very distasteful. And I think with all the stuff that's going on with women today, I think if that would have happened to a woman, it would have been a much bigger issue today. I really do.
Well, I also just want to add to this that
where are the rules with like women, the whole transgender thing? Women, boys wearing skirts, girls wearing suits. How come none of these rules apply, to school or to anything? They pick and choose what's okay. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, that was a lot of discussion this year about when Kevin Hart stepped down, because today all the shows are on repeat. Right. So today one of the shows that I was watching was on repeat, and they were talking about the Oscars with Kevin Hart. It all came back up again. Who gets a hall pass? Who doesn't get a hall pass? People pick it. We tend to pick and choose, I guess, the flavor of the month. Who gets to do what. The one thing I will say though about the whole situation is that social media adds a whole nother level to it. Okay,
absolutely.
I don't know that having that go viral was the right thing either, because we have found in the past situations that are one-sided and blown out of proportion by outrage that no one took, because again, people don't necessarily take the time to get all the facts.
Fact check, right.
Okay, so again, was the referee within his boundary? I believe that people are saying that from a rule book standpoint, yes, it's about the timing of when this took place,
exactly,
and the way it was done.
I still think it should have been addressed prior to the match, and/or bench him.
Well,
one or the other. They bench pro football players.
All he said,
lesser
he didn't forfeit. They gave him the option to forfeit. They told him these are you have a choice.
Did he win?
He did win. He did win. But he made a choice.
Maybe the adrenaline was pumping and he won.
He made a choice. Let's not martyr the kid.
Okay,
it's gonna.
I say I'm starting a GoFundMe page for him for his hair.
Yeah, right. Let's get him his extensions.
Exactly. Oh my God.
So a lot of the holidays, Randy and I got engaged on Christmas Eve. So hokey.
You guys got engaged?
Not this Christmas Eve. Many, first
this whole time I thought you were married.
First there was baby Jesus, and then there was us getting engaged. That's how long we've been engaged. But this year, the news is Miley Cyrus got married.
Yes, finally.
She's been with this guy a long time. But they broke up, right?
Because
when she was in her wrecking ball phase, when she was like, what the hell happened?
Taking her clothes off. She was going with girls and taking her clothes off.
What happened there?
I don't know. I think they truly love each other.
No, but what happened with her? Like what?
Oh, she
just lost her mind for
she was bisexual. She was coming on stage with no clothes on. Remember with the thing and her legs?
Yes.
And, oh my God,
she was a disgrace.
I like Chris Hemsworth. I'll marry him. And I don't want to get married, but I'll marry him.
So this guy stood by her though all through that, and then now they're together. They lost their home in the fires.
Yes,
so that was sad. But he got all their animals out. Of course, I was like so happy to hear.
Oh Jesus!
Well, Syne, come on,
don't make a martyr out of the animals.
And then one of our faves, Lucius Lyon.
Oh yes.
Okay, this is interesting to me. I didn't read into the history of it, but he proposed to his ex-wife. They were divorced about 3 years ago.
Only in Hollywood.
Well, you know what? Not only in Hollywood.
No,
people do.
Only.
I kind of like like it though. I'd rather see somebody
Get back
find
together.
themselves and realize that they shouldn't have.
Right.
It's all legalities when you
was
think
probably
about
younger
it.
and didn't know what they were doing. And
Well, they only got divorced 3 years ago.
oh, geez. Oh, Christ. All right.
So,
All right.
and I saw that Robin Thicke. Now this is the other side of it, okay? And I understand that in this day and age, people don't necessarily get married if you get pregnant. But if you're going to keep having children together, wouldn't you be married? Sometimes I don't know. I don't understand that. If you're going to be so I watched the Today Show. Carson Daly finally married Siri. Right? That's his. How many kids do they have? Like 4 kids.
He's married to the iPhone lady?
He's married to the iPhone. He married his iPhone. Some people can't get away from their iPhones.
I'm serious.
No, her name was Siri before Siri was Siri.
Okay.
But the point is that they have at least 3 kids.
Oh,
And
do.
they just got married like a year or 2 ago. Why would you do that?
It's all going to fall apart now, you know.
No, but I'm just saying. I know it's true though, right? But
Really
but I'm
is.
just saying, like, why? If you're that committed that you have a child together, once you have a child, is that red in your hair?
Yes.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't see.
You didn't notice my purple one last month either.
I did notice the purple, but when did you do the red in your hair? Is that your Christmas red?
It's my Christmas red.
Wow,
Yes.
that's cute.
It's real hair, you know.
Is it somebody else's hair or is it your
No,
hair
it's
dyed?
real hair. No, it's not my hair.
Ooh.
But it's real hair because you can't. Here, see it?
Oh, she's wearing clip-on hair.
No, it's not clip-on.
Ow.
They heat it. They heat it to your
Why did
hair.
you do that?
I do it all the time.
I just
I'm going to get
noticed
2
it.
blonde ones coming out of here
Good
like this.
Golly, Miss Molly, why don't you just dye it?
No.
Oh, it'll never. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
take forever.
No.
Take forever.
This
to
color
dye.
hair?
Yeah,
Mine,
right.
your color hair? Yeah. I like my hair blonde.
I
Yeah,
think
okay.
we're rambling. Can we? I feel like this is nice. We're comfy.
It's relaxing. So
Right.
what? We're talking to the people out
We're
there.
talking to the people out there
in cyber world or whatever they call it.
in
the
podcast.
cloud.
So you had it. You let's share with our audience some of the stuff that you said before about podcasting. 2019 is the year
Blowing
of
up.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, first of all, it's blowing up in general. But, they're saying that, 2019 is going to be the year for podcasters.
Interesting.
Big time.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, well, you did.
Well,
I was still in old school.
that's okay.
Put me in the radio
Well, the good
studio.
thing is that we are actually on, if you really look it up, it's Spreaker Radio.
Right.
So we really are on a form of radio. And if you really think about how something is broadcast, the world is a very different world. People like podcasts because the same reason I like Netflix. You can sit there and you
do
can
whatever
pick and
you
choose,
want.
Turn them on, turn them off, turn them on,
right.
turn them off. And I think now the advertising world just needs to catch up because they need to realize that when you put an ad on the radio, you have to, if I miss it at 7:05 in the
gone.
morning,
Right.
you have to keep playing it all day long to make sure I hear you. But on a podcast, throw an ad in there here and there, and you never know. I'm there. We're out there forever.
Exactly. And, you say Spreaker, but, we're on so many platforms.
Forever.
ever, never.
Well, one of the parts of learning a new skill this year was finding out that
Yes.
that we can be everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We are
Literally.
everywhere. So, it's really just if somebody's listening to us right at this moment, they have obviously found us. So there's
We would hope so, yes. If you're listening.
But if you have a particular platform that you like, that you can, and we're on there, which we probably are, if you subscribe, then we just pop up automatically.
Right.
You don't even have to go
Yes,
find
so
us.
subscribe.
So subscribe. We'll come to you. And, again, this is the Facebook play. I feel like I'm asking for money. I feel like we should do a telethon. Just like the
Let's
freaking
do that
page.
one night,
The
yeah.
telethon.
yeah, like the page. Makeshift Happen Show. Like us. And we're on Twitter and Instagram.
We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We have a Tumblr, but I have no idea.
I
think it's
I
called
just opened
Shift Chicks as Tumblr. Is
Oh,
Shift
is
Chicks.
it?
Yeah,
I just
couldn't get
opened
us-
up a TikTok account, and I can't figure out how to work it.
Oh, is that the thing where all those like weird little things come out?
Well,
and people.
it's kind of an emoji thing, but there's a part where you can actually just do videos
Like
and put music to it. No, it's not like Snapchat. 'Cause Snapchat goes away.
right?
It's pretty cool. It's going to be like the next. You get followers and everything.
I think again, every year we talk about this. People are looking again for the next
next
thing
big thing, yeah.
until we fuck it up, until we ruin it. Day after day, Facebook. I have a love-hate relationship, and in Messenger, what happens when you say to somebody, and I really don't like the blocking and I do it, but I don't like to do it.
Oh, I do.
But what happens when you have someone that and they sell a product and you're not interested in the product and you've told them you're not interested in
9
the
million
product,
times.
but they still want to just say hi. This is part of the authentic part. This is where I have to learn to pick and choose.
Right.
What I want to say is to them, do you think that I think that you actually give a shit how my Christmas was?
No.
I think that you just want to keep in touch. And if you think you're going to wear me down, you don't know me.
Exactly.
Because it's just, it's going to have the opposite effect.
Mm-hmm. I told you about that one. I accepted the friendship because I think we had mutual friends or whatever. You know,
I
I
don't ever
check it
go
out
by
first.
that because
I
people
know.
like say everything.
Yeah, you have some weirdos that have been friending me lately. Just let you
I
know.
do.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So you said it was, she did it. I'm telling you, she didn't. There's something, I don't know how to do it on Facebook. I want to find out. The minute I hit confirm friend request, my messenger went off.
Something shots. Yeah, there's probably
How does
a
she
way
make
to-
that happen?
There's probably some, I don't know, let's learn a new skill. And let's figure it out.
We could take a class.
Speaking of class, I'm
Did you
putting it
hear?
out there. I contacted, you know what? We wrote to Brookdale.
Yep.
To the Small Business Development Center, and we heard nothing back.
Not a word.
So
Good business, dudes. Good
I
business.
contacted my credit card company,
Good for you.
and I had an extremely supportive gentleman on the phone.
Excellent.
And my $69 has been temporarily,
Yeah,
you know,
until they
put
try
aside.
to fight you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep doing it. If they fight you, I keep doing it. Put it back
I know
in.
it's not coming back on because I told them the story. I said we took the class. You know, the class was taken. It wasn't like I didn't get the service. I'm not lying about getting
Listen,
the service.
I'm no brain surgeon, but I could have taught that class.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you put a profile up on Instagram.
You know what though?
What?
It's not even just that. We were so eloquent in both conversations. We each had a conversation,
Right.
and then they asked to have it put in writing. So I took the time to put it in writing and basically just laid it out. We gave the teacher props. You know, we said she was good at what she did. Unfortunately, it was the material was just not our style.
No.
So you know what? It could have.
And we gave them ways out.
but exactly, and they didn't take it. So
Right.
now they're not going to get paid.
I, as far as people teaching people about business, I got to tell you, they don't have a clue what they're doing.
Well, it's not good customer service, and
No,
it's certainly not
not at
good.
all.
And that's the other thing too. You know, I've been part of things over the years where I don't understand how you could try to coach, teach, direct, or whatever when you don't even do it yourself.
No.
Like
It was
I mean, if
ridiculous.
you don't even follow your own.
No, and then don't argue with me on the phone. I mean,
you
like,
really
give
got
me,
into it with them.
Oh my God, they were. It was horrible. And then they transferred me to another woman who was just telling me that I was dumb and stupid, not in those words,
Yeah.
but like I'm like,
The gist of it.
what are you doing? I'm a customer.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you
they don't see it that way.
argue.
Well, you know, I've often said, and this isn't about the college because this is really not. This is just the location is at the college,
Right.
but it's not the college itself that
No,
we
yeah.
were dealing with. Because I graduated Brookdale Community College, and it's fabulous. It's got a great
it's a great
rating.
school,
It's
yeah.
it's a great school, and you know they have a university. Is the 4-year step. So you go for 2 years there, and then they link in with all these different 4-year schools. So you
Right.
can get a 4-year school degree without actually having to go, in some cases, to those schools location-wise. So it's a fabulous place. They give a fabulous education. So I don't want to, badmouth Brookdale. I
No,
don't want anybody to think that.
Brookdale's great.
But the bottom line is simple, and I've said this before. If schools were for profit, like they would never, like you don't understand how they work. Like the people just don't seem to really.
No, I was very, very disappointed. I really was because I used to really like them, but this just left the most horrible. I got 3 emails in the past 3 days from them, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like about more classes, and I'm like, "Take me off your mailing
Well,
list."
that would be from them. I wouldn't go back, but for Brookdale, I would definitely recommend stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, but once again, it's all about standing up for yourself.
Yep.
And if you feel that there's something that's not right, people are always so mousy about you, and you don't have to be rude. You never have to be rude, and I don't suggest being rude.
I wasn't.
No, not at all. But
At
I mean,
all.
even like if you go even to a restaurant, and I know people have this thing about sending food back or what. But if I order if I'm in the mood, I get my dirty martini,
Right.
Tito's, ice cold, slightly dirty or dusty, as I like to refer to
Dusty.
it. Which means that when you get the glass, okay, it's not so cloudy that you can't see through
Right.
it. All right. So I had asked for one of these
They
at
look
a
gross when
place,
I come like that.
and it was you could see right away that it was going to be pure olive juice, and it was disgusting. And I sent it back, and I get very frustrated because I just can't. I don't know how else to ask for it, But no one gave me a hard time. Of course, they went back and she goes,
That's
"Oh,
how it should be.
the server was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, like." I thought I know I asked,
Right.
and so on. It's just about making people feel, and you can do this in your life. You don't have to be in business. making people feel that you care about what they're saying.
Of course, you should.
Obviously, your family cares whatever you say because you bingo.
I gotta start dropping bigger hints.
Yeah, I was going to
really,
say, could you
seriously.
start adding dollar signs to that?
Really.
But anyway, you know what? We're just going on and on, but it's time, I think, for us to start wrapping it up. You know, we've got. So, what are your plans for the big bang?
Okay, we have to go through this. You know, my pet peeve holiday out of 365 days a year is New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I fall asleep at 8 o'clock. I don't care if I go out of the house. I do not care. I do not care about New Year's Eve. I've had New Year's Eve for many, many years. Many, many nights. I don't need New Year's Eve.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't care about the friggin' ball either in New York City.
Well, we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to go to one of our favorite places. We're going to go to Second Floor in Long Branch. We haven't been there since Randy's birthday. We'll have a nice dinner. Nice cozy. It's nice and cozy there. I love Mike and Sam. And we're going to come home and we're going to watch one of the specials on television. And you know, I kind of like the year in review. You know, you and I were talking about this today. How many people we've lost in 2018 that are, you know, I guess you'd consider them celebrities. Like the list was so long. Like obviously, you know, we just lost Penny Marshall.
Yeah.
We just lost President Bush. But when you start going, back through the beginning of the year, so I always find that very touching when a tribute is paid.
I was very sad. Mrs. Olsen from Little House on the Prairie died.
Aw.
I can't think of her real name right now. Yes. Remember her?
I didn't really watch that show.
You didn't watch Little House on the Prairie? I watch it more now than I did when I was younger.
No, I know. I was never like a big
Nancy
fan
Wilson,
of it.
Aretha Franklin.
Nancy Wilson or Aretha Franklin. Well, you know, like Billy Graham.
Yes.
I mean, that's somebody I think a lot. Vic Damone, from Frasier, John Mahoney, his dad. You know, the dad
right.
on. I mean, we lost a couple of.
John McCain.
Remember the guy from MASH? David Ogden Steers was his name, but I can't think of who he played on MASH. There's a lot. Harry Anderson. Remember Night Court?
Yes.
Mrs. Bush, Barbara Bush.
Yeah,
I mean, that
seems like so long ago, but it was this year.
It was this year, and this
year has just dragged its ass.
Margot Kidder.
Oh right.
Kate Spade.
Anthony
Bourdain.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We lost I was trying to think about this before, the young man, and it was really sad. He passed away. We've had some suicides this year that were
Avicii.
Was it this year? I thought that was Burt Reynolds passed away this year.
Reynolds, right?
Bill Daly, I Dream of Jeannie. No, who is he's the young boy. Listen to me. What am I? Stanley, which for a lot of people was huge.
That was big time.
Who is he was Ariana Grande's boyfriend.
You know what? I can't remember.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Of course.
But I mean, I think you know, it's one thing when you have an older person pass away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you still miss them and you still, of course, feel bad. But you know, you know that they had a good life. But it's very heartbreaking to me.
It is.
One of the guys in the Bay. Well, Tom Petty didn't commit suicide, but he passed away. Right? Wasn't that this year?
I think so.
I mean, it's just like the list.
You can't go.
Yeah,
mind-boggling.
But you're right though. This was one of those years. Like, remember Time Magazine or Life?
Yes.
Every year. This is one of those years. I think that there were so many quote, the hashtag year or whatever of things. But
so over that. I can't wait. I hope it stops this year. I
think we're all looking forward to I don't know how much of a clean slate that there really is when all is said and done. But you can only do what you can do, right?
Well, I'm going out and getting a hobby. That's for sure.
Well, I'm going to learn a new skill.
Me too.
All right,
I'm going to do that with you.
All right, so let's see if this skill works right here. I didn't hear it.
Is that a skill?
It was supposed to be Happy New Year. I was supposed to play Happy New Year, but I didn't hear it.
Auld Lang Syne is a sad song, though.
I can't even play it. I can't play it because you know
Sing
what?
Sing it
then. Oh, that's not the way to end the show.
We want people to listen again.
I want people to listen. Well, I don't know where my sound effect went, but it didn't come through. I'm sorry for that. So then we'll just say Happy New Year
from the Shift Chicks.
From the Shift Chicks.
And we hope you have nothing but health, happiness, prosperity, and learning to say no.
And be authentic. Just be
and have
you.
Gratitude.
Because the one thing that we are is us. And we say this at the end of every show, but certainly for the year of 2019, we want you to go out there and make shift happen.